What's good, my man in society? It is your host with the most, Shadow Loke. Back at you with another video. Don't forget to tap on the subscribe, the like. It's free. It don't cost anything. You'll help my channel get into the algorithm. I would highly appreciate it. Now, what I want to talk about today was the problem with YouTube, right? Does YouTube have this problem? Which is compulsive liars, a compulsive liar disorder. A compulsive liar is somebody who feels the need to lie about everything and anything, even to the extent of stuff that there was no need to lie, about it. Um, you know, these individuals feel the need to even lie about the most, smallest things that, to other people would be like, why did they lie about that? Like, I don't understand. And it's something that's really hard to understand about an individual. These are just my theories on what do I think creates a compulsive liar, disorder. I feel like it stems from somebody who was neglected as a young child, but held in praise, amongst others. Meaning they were probably neglected, by one of the parents, and probably held high standards to the other parent. Right? Maybe they didn't have their father in their life and only their mother. So that lack of neglection, it makes the person insecure, right? But the mother held the son to such a high, praise that he feels like he's worth something. So he has to create the illusion that he is this person in which, he claims to be. And that comes from lying about a lot of things. They lie about their wealth. They lie about their, their job ethics, their education. They lie about almost everything. They say that, you know, like when it comes to their job, they're probably higher than what they actually are. They probably exaggerate on how much they get paid. They probably exaggerate on how much money they have, and etc. Right? Giving this illusion that this person, because in reality, he himself feels like he doesn't have what he should have, right? He feels like he needs more, right? But that insecurity in himself doesn't give him that drive to actually go out there and get it, right? So he looks for easier way to get about these things, whether it's through deceiving, lying, manipulating, conniving, and etc. Plotting on how to get the quick buck, the quickest way in getting money. YouTube has opened the avenue for a lot of these compulsive liars to come on here and try to mislead or take advantage of their subscribers. But I personally feel like everybody's their own adult. So if a person wants to support that person, so be it. Is it messed up that this person is taking advantage of their subscribers? Yes, it is. I believe that you should never manipulate to get your means. That's not righteous. That's not real. That's scandalous. And it is what it is, though. You know what I mean? Eventually, those people end up getting found out because people start catching on to the lies. And, that's the beautiful thing about a compulsive liar, that they end up, collapsing in themselves because the lies become too much to juggle. But they can't see this, right? Because they think that they're that slick. They think that they're that, they're good at what they do. Right? Because in the real world, they've been able to get away with it. But in the real world, people just can't go back and hear what you're saying, viewing face expressions and stuff like that. Not only that, but saving that information and then now matching it up to, some other tales that you're telling, and now able to see that it doesn't match up. So that is the difference from when you were able to get away with it in the real world compared to here on the internet, because they don't go nowhere. You get what I mean? So, of course, these individuals, when they get called out on it, of course, they'll make more lies to cover up, that. Because you don't really know who you're talking to, you know what I mean? They pull off this image, but in reality, they're a whole different person. Because they just can't help but to lie about, their character, their persona, and their pretty much entire life. You've seen it time after time. There's been authors, directors that have claimed that this movie is based off of true events and true stories, and then it turns out that it was all made up and and stuff like that. To archaeologists faking, fossils and ancient artifacts and stuff like that, because there is people in this world who are just looking to cheat the system. Not only in YouTube, but you have it in law enforcement, lawyers, doctors, teachers, regular day people. You have compulsive liars mixed in, amongst people, amongst everybody, music, celebrities, athletes, and etc. Because we all suffer from some type of disorder. You know what I mean? Whether personality disorder, or from bipolar, narcissism, sociopath, psychopath, and many more. Because when you don't properly raise a child right, and you mistreat them, people find a hard time believing how much words could impact a person's life. It could impact a person's life heavily when it's coming from somebody that these people look up to, somebody they admire, somebody that they love, somebody that they hold to the highest standards. When these people end up mistreating them, verbally abusing them, physically abusing them, mentally abusing them, it takes a toll on an individual's character when he's being raised. You know what I mean? People don't understand that. That is why you see some people, and even when you come with them with the proof, they're not able, they still tell lies even with the proof in front of them, bro. Because they know as soon as they admit to that lie, their whole world will crumble. Now people will say, lied about this and that and this and that. And if he was wrong about this, what if he was wrong about that? And now their world starts to collapse mentally in their mind. That is the mental disorder in this, that these people feel like their world will come to an end, when in reality it's not really coming to an end. But that is how they taking the news, the devastation, to that magnitude, to where they even commit suicide and all kinds of crazy stuff. You know what I mean? It's sad, in reality, because they don't understand. Because you could get treated for this, you know what I mean? Like I've always said, don't be afraid to go and ask for therapy. Everybody needs help in this world. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not looked at as weak and stuff like that. Like I said, we all suffer from some type of disorder. People go their whole entire lives without getting, diagnosed, and they live with these problems and end up, making their life harder and their loved ones around them lives harder. And actually keeping the cycle going, because now deflecting that on their, children or others, and now impacting their lives to now, creating these patterns. That's why people like this exist throughout all over the world. So it's not that it's just something that occurs here in California or in the United States. No, people like this exist everywhere in all walks of life. Is understanding the human brain. It is very sensitive. It is the most sensitive and the most, important thing that we own. You know what I mean? The fascination of the human mind, that could build things that could even take us out of this planet and etc. and stuff like that, right? Like the capacity to create, holograms, and so much more that we have created and been able to do with now the science, the research, and the knowledge that we have, that is outstanding. But not only that, but the fact that we can't even get along, and you see all this bickering and stuff like that, like the brain could create such a beautiful thing, and at the same time it could be so easily manipulated and stuff like that. That's why I say it's the most sensitive and the most, fascinating thing that we own. And it's understanding these, what creates these behaviors. And now, see, the thing is that the knowledge is out there, but you'll never find it on the internet. On the internet, you'll find people's opinions, right? And, a whole lot of false information, a whole lot of misleading, and people take that as facts, right? Somebody comes and they post a picture, and they give you not really some, maybe not really much of a breakdown, maybe just their opinion on it, and people run with it and call it facts. That's why you see a lot of people saying, oh, look at this picture, and across the world there's another picture that was just like this, and how do you explain that? And it's like, bro, those are fake pictures, you know what I mean? But you just grab something that somebody, just because they sound like they knew what they were talking about, and you ran with it, bro. Do your own research. I never come on here to get people to take my word for what I'm saying, but to now maybe pique the curiosity, and for them not to go and educate themselves on these matters, and come to the conclusion themselves. You know what I mean? I never come on here to say that I'm right and they're wrong, or to get people to praise me for, oh, look, he's smart and stuff. Like, no. It's to open these awareness and now be like, let me see if this guy, what he's saying is true, and going now, researching themselves and educating themselves. Because it is important, because I know, nobody likes to be taken advantage of. I know, some people, watch these videos and look, for these people for comfort and advice and stuff like that. When they're manipulating and taking advantage of that, yes, I know it's a messed up feeling. But I never come on here to point any fingers. You get what I'm saying? I never come and say, don't watch this channel or that channel or whatever. People have to come to the conclusion themselves of what they want to do with their lives. It's their life. It's not for you to make their choices for them, or to now bash them if they like this person or that person. It's their life. They're entitled to support and like whoever they choose, and not for you to come and try to stomp all over that either, just because you think you're right. Because then that makes you no better than these individuals that are misleading these people. That's why I never come and tell people what they can and can't do. It's up to them what they want to do. But I understand a compulsive liar. I'm able to see, with their gestures, face expressions, and it's so much educating yourself on how to spot when somebody is being, trying to be slick and stuff like that, trying to, take advantage of you. Is knowing what to look out for, of how they tell their stories, what words that they use, their overall face expression, their eyes expression, their shoulders, their posture. A lot of things will tell you a lot about an individual, if he's telling the truth in what he's talking about, or if he's just winging it on the fly. And people, not only me, but a lot of people out there are able to tell, that educate themselves on this, and they watch and they're able to see. But a compulsive liar is always in defense mode, so he's always looking to how to, clean up. He's always on cleanup duty, you know what I mean? Trying to be on top of it. And there's this that he ends up smothering himself, and he doesn't even realize it. That's why with the picture, you don't know who you're talking to when you see these individuals. And the internet opened that avenue, for a lot of these individuals to come on here and try to manipulate and take advantage of those, and they don't see nothing wrong with what they're doing, because they feel like they're entitled to it. Because, they hold themselves at such high praise that they feel like there's nothing wrong with what they do. They genuinely think that. Because that they don't show the remorse, they don't show the compassion for it. They don't show the same type of emotions that other people, have. Therefore, they don't think that there's nothing wrong with what they're doing, especially when they have people in their, around them who are similar to how they think, and reassure them that what they're doing is nothing wrong. But it's not that. Now, because they're telling you this, that you're right, it just means that you just have a bunch of piece of shit people that think like you around you. Don't make you right, though. So yes, on here there is a lot of compulsive liars. I always say I take a person's word for it until he shows me otherwise. You know what I mean? Until, because in this world, all we have is our word. You know what I mean? You should never try to lie to somebody and stuff like that, because in reality, that is the only truly thing that we have to us, right? That has any value. So once you throw that away because you just didn't care, it's like, okay, then don't come back expecting anything else. You know what I mean? Because, something like that is something that you can't buy. You know what I mean? But they think that everything has a price, or what could I get out of it? And that's why most people support, these type of people. If the success of the liar is getting them high up, then these people could see the lies, but just ignore them just for they could climb up that ladder, but understand that that ladder is built on a wobbly foundation, meaning if you get on that ladder behind them, it's only a matter of time before the ladder collapses at the weight, and now you fall with them. But it's that illusion of that success that has so many people willing to take the risk. But understand that lies could only get you so far, and it's only a matter of time before it all blows up. Because the lie is not the truth. It will never beat the truth. It will never be the truth. See, people have no faith in the truth. They have no confidence in the truth. That's the reason why they don't choose that path and rather lie, because to them they see that lies brings them more success temporarily, though, but they don't grasp that part, right? Because it's all about living in the finer things, like how they built in their mind that they deserve. But that is the reason why individuals behave in this manner, at least in my point of view, my opinions. Maybe you have yours. Go ahead and leave them in the comments. I'm curious to always hear what you guys got to say. It does pique my curiosity because sometimes, other people's perspective now allows me to see it from a different perspective, and allows me to, better, go and assess my, overall breakdown on the scenarios and matters. But yeah, go ahead and leave a comment, and we out.